Right?
Yes.
Hi there, and welcome to Truth with Ruth, a witty, warm, and real podcast about anything and everything health and fitness. I'm your host, Ruth Edwards, and I'm joined by
Co-host Evan Edwards.
And on today's episode, we're going to talk about snacking or portion control when snacking and healthy snacking. So all things snacks. So snacky snack, right? Where's that from? Where's snacky snack from?
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. Sometimes I make stuff up. Yesterday I made up the phrase, I'm trying to wrap my thoughts around my head. So
You're pretty close.
So apparently there's a word for that when you
Mix up a phrase.
Yeah. So I'm really good at that. Okay, anyway, snacks. Snacky snacks. Snacking isn't bad. It's usually what we choose as snacks or how we snack or how much that we end up intaking during our snack. So you did a little homework for us.
Yes, I did. Because today's topic of snacking was my idea.
Yes, which is great.
Because we've acquired lots and lots of
Snacks.
a certain snack.
Courtesy of your dad. He's really good at getting free snacks.
Yes.
And so we have currently quite a few certain kinds of snacks. And so, yeah, like looking at, well, what are the ingredients? What is this? Is this considered a good snack, a healthy snack? And so what would define healthy? So to me, healthy is going to be more along the lines of what the ingredients are. So I look at ingredient list, and the protein, fat, carbohydrate ratio is not as important to me as the ingredients are. What are the ingredients? Are they whole ingredients? Can I pronounce the words? And where did they come from? So that's what's most important to me. Now, I just happened to be, I encountered the healthy snack vending machine guy at the gym that I work at last week, and he was filling it, and I said, oh, by the way, have you heard of, and I'll just go ahead and say it, a protein puck? And he said, nope, what's that? So I'll tell everybody, a protein puck, so it's round, and it's I should have looked that up, how many grams of protein. Anyway.
I mean, we got 5 boxes in front of us.
Is it 18 grams of protein? Maybe somewhere around in there. I'm sure you can look it up. Protein puck, P-U-C-K. So it's round, looks like a puck. And anyway, he asked me, no, I haven't heard of that. Where'd you get it? And I was like, well, my husband got them at a Spartan race. But what I really like about them is that the ingredients are really clean. And his question to me, which I just found interesting, was, what's the protein, fat, carbohydrate ratio and protein calorie ratio? And I was like, oh, I don't even know. I don't even pay attention. I just, A, the ingredients are clean, and B, they actually taste good. Because a lot of protein bars, they taste like dirt, or they taste like a brick, or
like you get halfway through and you just don't want to finish it.
No. And so these actually have some good, like you can tell, like it's just something you could probably whip up in your kitchen, but they've made it into, a convenient pouch. And okay, anyway, that to me would be a fairly decent, healthy snack. But like to him, he was like, yeah, but how much fat does it have in it? And I was like, who cares if the ingredients are clean? But apparently in that setting, I guess maybe people are more concerned about what the protein, fat, carbohydrate, calorie, what all those ratios are. And I was like, anyway, interesting. Okay. So that's how I define what's healthy and what's not. You want to tell them what the current guidelines are
Sure.
for how many fruits and vegetables per day we're supposed to have?
According to the USDA, and this is a broad, generalized for the quote unquote average adult. Now, what is an average adult?
Right. I'm probably not big enough to be average.
Right.
So
neither am I. Or our family leans on the smaller side.
We're short.
Like more, I guess you'd say petite side.
Yes.
So again,
we're on the low end average.
So with a grain of salt, the USDA recommends that the daily serving of vegetables is 2 to 3 cups. Fruits is 1.5 to 2 cups. Proteins are 5 to 6.5 ounces. Grains are 5 to 8 ounces, and then they also included a dairy measurement. But I know a lot of people are dairy sensitive, so I didn't include that number. But it did also have a recommended dairy amount, and yeah, so that's what the USDA recommends for the average adult.
Okay, so 2 to 3 cups of vegetables. Let's just go with 3.
Yeah,
3 cups of vegetables. I mean, so listeners, imagine what a cup, about how big a cup is, and I'm talking about 8 ounces measuring cup, not your.
Like a cup
not
of
this
water,
cup. Yeah. Okay.
Big old water bottle.
So imagine your 8 ounces, your standard measuring cup. That's a cup. So a cup of broccoli, a cup of carrots, a cup, and how much fits in that cup? Probably is it raw or is it cooked? And,
how are they cut up?
Right, and so
is it juiced?
Right. So this has some give and take. But let's go with 3 cups because it makes it easy for us to do our math. So let's say 1 serving size is a cup of vegetables. Again, just to make it easy. So that's a cup of veggies at breakfast, at lunch, and at supper to get your 3 cups in. Servings, that could be slightly different. That could be half a cup. Oh my gosh, that'd be like 2 pieces of broccoli, depending on how big the broccoli is, right? Anyway, all right. Then fruit, 1.5 to 2 cups. An apple. I mean, it's probably, if let's say you cut it up and what you actually eat off the apple is probably 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup, unless it's a humongous apple, then it could be a full cup. So let's go with the 2 cups per day. And let's go with 1/2 a cup at each meal. You would 1/2 a cup at breakfast, lunch, supper. You need another 1/2 a cup in there somewhere to make your 2 cups a day. Protein, 5 to 6.5 ounces, I think is a little on the low side because we're supposed to get depending on the literature that you read, let's just go with 1 gram of protein per pound that you want to weigh.
Sure.
Okay, so let's make that easy. If you weigh 100 pounds or you want to weigh 100 pounds, you need to intake 100 grams of protein per day. Okay, that's 30, 60, 90 grams. That's breakfast, lunch, supper, and a little bit more thrown in there somewhere. Okay. A piece of chicken breast about the size of the palm of my hand, palm, not my fingers, palm, is going to be about 3 ounces. That's going to be 28 to 30-ish, depending how thick it is. That's 3. Ain't no way you're not going to meet the grams per day that you want or need in that 6.5 ounces. No way. Anyway, And then grains. Well, I don't eat a lot of grains, so I don't even know how to measure that out. 5 to 8 ounces of grains. Oatmeal, bread. I don't really like cereal. But cereal could be a grain depending on what kind it is. Anyway, rice. Okay. So that pasta, those are all your, so breads, pastas, rice, oatmeal, oats. So anyway, that's your grain. And I think people tend to go way overboard on the grains, way under on the protein. Because like, let's say you have a piece of toast with breakfast, you have pasta with lunch, you have rice with supper, and a piece of bread. Oh, you're way over your 5 to 8 ounces. You're also way over on your carbs. America tends to be a little carb heavy. And then when we say you should go low carb, really it's actually just what carbs should be. It's not really low carb. But anyway, okay, we're here to talk about snacks.
Yes.
All right. So the reason we bring that up is because, especially for the veggies and the fruit, probably the snacking could actually maybe help you hit your vegetable and fruit targets. Now, there are some people who go carnivore and they don't eat anything but meat. There are dairy products. Then there are people who go the other way and go vegetarian and they don't eat any animal products or any meat. Maybe they do eat animal products, but they don't eat meat. Anyway, then you can go vegan. Then you can go pescatarian. Like, there's all these different ways. And so anyway, it depends. But generally speaking, fruits and vegetables are where you're going to get your phytonutrients from. And for those that have listened to our episode on sun exposure, fruits and vegetables, especially the red, orange, and yellow ones, is what helps us actually have some natural built-in sun protection in our skin and gives us a little bit more of a healthy glow. So I do think there's some value in eating your fruits and vegetables. It can be challenging to get them in, but if you're getting them in, you're focused on getting in your servings of fruits and vegetables, it leaves less room for the junk. They take up some space in your gut and help you not be as hungry. So there is, right? So use that guideline to help you fill out what am I going to have for my snack? And that way you're getting your fruits and veggies, but you're also not as hungry. But anyway.
Because how often are we eating a fruit or vegetable with breakfast or lunch? We usually get one in at dinner, but...
Well, I ate blackberry cobbler yesterday for breakfast.
Well, that's unusual.
Yeah, it's not normal. That's not my norm. But my parents have a lot of frozen foods that we need to work through, and so I had grabbed a whole bunch of frozen blackberries, and so my mom and I worked together to make a blackberry cobbler. And I mean, generally it's really not, I mean, there's some sugar in it. We have to do something a little bit different when it comes to the milk and butter because of the dairy sensitivities for both me and grandma, but other than that, it's not that bad. And so, yeah, that's what I eat. Anyway, no, I don't typically eat a fruit at breakfast.
Or like a vegetable. Yeah.
For me, the only way to get a veggie in is to maybe cut up some peppers, tomatoes, or onions and put them in a scrambled egg or omelet. But is that my norm? No. If I make them ahead of time, yes. But it's probably not even a half a cup. It's just a sprinkle, right? Spinach, maybe. So I have to be very deliberate and intentional to get a veggie in at breakfast. Right now I'm on an avocado kick. And, but that's not, what is that? Is that a fruit? I think
I don't know.
I think
No,
an
I don't
avocado
know.
might technically be a fruit, but
Yes.
in this case, an avocado is high in fat. So I'm not going to eat the whole darn thing.
Mm,
It's way over my limit for the day. So, um, okay, anyway, I don't know that I would count that as a fruit, but even though I think it is a fruit.
mm.
Okay, anyway. So, yeah, what I thought you were going to ask was, well, how many times a day are we eating?
2.5.
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
And there are some people who do intermittent fasting. There are people who eat every 2 hours, every hour and a half. So I think it depends.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on you and your body type, blood sugar stuff, and what works best for you. I've done a bunch of different things. I've done the intermittent fasting where basically I only ate from 12 to 6 or 11 to 7, some kind of window like that. But I still ate a lunch, a snack, a dinner, or supper, and then that was probably it. So, but you're still supposed to get all your servings in. So I've done that. Then I've also done, and I'm currently more of the mindset of I eat breakfast, lunch, supper, and I do have a little something between breakfast and lunch. It's not big, and then I have oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes a little something between lunch and supper, and that I do a bit better with that, because I've got some stuff going on, so I do a bit better with that about every 2-ish hours. That seems to help me stay in a healthier spot. So some people don't snack, but some people snack all day long. And so this is like, let's say you are counting calories or you are counting fruits and vegetable servings. Snacking could be a way to, like, it's going to be included. And so, like, that's why we're here to talk about healthy snacks and portions. You want to talk about some healthier snacks?
So that is your your fruits and your vegetables and your proteins. So we're talking apples and peanut butter, which is a big. I feel like everyone likes apples and peanut butter. Carrots and hummus. That's your vegetable and protein. You could do Greek yogurt and some fruit. That's dairy and fruit, or like Greek yogurt and fruit. A berry, blueberries, strawberries, whatever. Some people just eat an apple, have some watermelon, a melon. So those are examples of like healthy snacks. But a lot of that is gonna be in your refrigerator. That's in your refrigerator and produce. Yeah.
And the pairing of apple and peanut butter or carrots and hummus or something that, because let's say just an apple, when I eat just an apple, I might still be hungry. And so pairing it with a healthy fat of some sort, some people do cheese, some people do peanut butter, some people do whatever. And that helps it stick a little better and last a little longer. And then I want to say this about peanut butter is conventional peanut butter is a no-no. And so then if you're wondering, well, then what do I do? I love peanut butter. Okay, well, you can do there's almond butter, there's cashew butter, there's sun butter, there's all these different. But what I like to do at my health food store, they have the raw peanuts and they have the machine. They put them down in the machine, hit the button, it grinds. And so all it is ground up peanuts. There's no oil in it. There's no sugar in it. And the first time you taste it, it's bland. It's what? But it's just ground up peanuts. And so I try to keep a tub of that. And And then we are very, very fortunate that right here in North Carolina, not that far away from us, we have the Good Stuff. And that's a brand of peanut butter that is spreading. And they have kept their ingredients quite clean, and they have some really fun flavors. And that's so small, local, even if you're on the other side of the United States, like it's North Carolina, and we've met the owners, or I have. I don't know if you did. And they're fabulous people, and they're spreading their brand awareness, and they're getting out there. But I think it's called the Good Stuff, and so their ingredients are, I mean, as clean as you can get when it comes to adding a little bit besides just the peanuts. So, and then not everybody can do peanuts because it's a legume, so that's why some people go cashew or almond or. But anyway, there's some different ways to still keep that on the healthier side. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess. So, are you saying I can't have my chips?
No.
I don't love chips, but your dad does. So, are you saying people can't have chips?
No. So again, we just kind of went over our refrigerator and produce snacks, but now I guess we'll talk about the pantry snacks, which I think is where a lot of us fall victim.
Yes.
So the pantry snacks are the chips, the crackers, the nuts. Granola bars, the fruit snacks, the nuts.
The protein things, protein bars.
So, and this is where
cookies.
Yeah. And so, and again, this, I feel like most often we fall victim to over snacking on the pantry. It can happen with the refrigerator too. But that word I said, over snacking. Yeah. So again, your chips, a handful, fine. That's a handful of chips every so often, maybe even more often than not.
All things in moderation. Yeah.
Chips are fine. We're not saying you cannot eat your chips, your barbecue chips or Pringles, but again, the over snacking, that is when you are standing in the pantry and you grab that can of Pringles, and 5 minutes later, that full can of Pringles you had only has 5 chips left. So
you ate like the entire 5 servings.
Right, because Pringles are easy to go through.
Oh yeah.
They don't, and because you just eat and eat and eat, and you don't even.
Yeah.
It's there just, and then they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's easy to over snack.
Yeah, over snack.
Yeah. So I grew up with my mom and my grandmother. I was a child of the 80s, so we did have chips or cheese puffs or whatever, but it was more of a treat. It wasn't a regular thing. But anyway, when we did have some of those things, my mom always put them in a bowl, and you sat down at the table. And so that's a good strategy to help you control your portion. So you measure out your portion. Maybe you go by serving size on the bag. Maybe you don't, whatever. But you put it in a little bowl and you sit down. And that's a strategy or technique to help you control your portion.
Yeah, that's a visual technique.
Yeah.
The overeating or over snacking, we're not really talking about eating 3 meals a day as a whole, but over snacking can be caused by boredom. Yeah. That's when you're just you got nothing to do, so you open the pantry and you just kind of stare and you grab something and you eat it. So boredom, stress can cause overeating. Convenience, they're just there, so why not have some? Or even it can become a habit.
Every day at this time I go,
I look in the pantry and see what's in there. Now it might not be as every day at 2:00 I see what's in the pantry, but just like if you have a work schedule and you get a break at 2, and then so that's kind of it's a habit,
right?
And then all these things are can cause the over snacking, the mindless eating,
Mm-hmm.
which creates the disconnection. And
Right.
so oftentimes after we've had that whole can of Pringles by accident, you still feel hungry.
Right, because it really wasn't about the hunger. It was about
just because I felt like it, or
you were bored, you were upset, you were sad. There are a lot of different reasons, but that disconnection, mindless. So keywords there: mindless, disconnected, and so I know a strategy that. So if you're working with a personal trainer or nutritionist, and let me say, we are not nutritionists and this is not dietary advice. Okay. So these are just general health and fitness suggestions, just general conversation around this topic. But I know what a lot of personal trainers, weight loss people will have you do is the very first thing, and I come to them, I'm going to lose X number of pounds. The very first thing they have you do is track your food. And so way back when, for me, it was pen and paper, notebook, write it down, time of day, the food, how much, and then you had to look up in your book all your calories and all that. And then sometimes they'll have you track also your feeling, like, and then how did you feel, or how were you feeling when you, especially with the snacks. And so now that's all can be done digitally through apps, and you can take your phone and scan it, and this, that, and the other, and oh, how fun and nice. And it makes it so much easier for entering that data. But like even just doing that for a solid week or two can give you a lot of awareness of, oh, I didn't even realize that every day at 2:00 I was even doing that. Because, or I know one time when I was doing that, my trainer and I were working on that. I was like, I didn't even realize how many Hershey Kisses I had. Like every time I went to the pantry and got a Hershey Kiss, I was like, it's just one. But over the course of the day, it ended up being like 10. Oh, that adds up. But without actually at that time I was writing it down, without tracking it or writing it down, I wouldn't have realized and made the connection that I was doing that. So that was a long time ago. But anyway, so being a little more intentional, mindful, check if you think it's feeling related with boredom or sadness. Oh, dehydration is another one. Sometimes you're just dehydrated. I said that weird. Sometimes you're just thirsty or dehydrated and you need to hydrate, and you do that and then the hunger will go away. Disconnected, mindless. If you think that's happening, then start tracking. And maybe just tracking the food and the amount will be enough, but maybe you track also the feelings. So that can be helpful. But so
I guess you could say a solution to mindless eating is mindful, or mindless snacking is mindful snacking, or snacking with intention. So again, now and then, how do you mindfully snack? So you can track the snacks or our food in general. You can also when you feel the urge to snack or go to the pantry or go to the refrigerator, you can ask yourself, am I actually hungry, or do I just not have anything to do right now?
Right. Am I bored?
Yeah. Am I craving something specific? Like, am I craving something salty, or something sweet, like something with that's chewy, that's crunchy? So try to like pinpoint what you're actually like craving, if you're craving something specifically. And then another thing that we mentioned, I don't remember, but like breakfast and lunch are usually, at least for us, and especially lunch in American culture, is usually pretty small. A peanut butter and jelly, a turkey sandwich. So usually something small. So then if you find yourself you're not bored, but you are
Hungry.
hungry for something.
Mm-hmm.
Then you ask yourself the question, was my whatever meal you had an hour, 30 minutes, an hour ago, was my meal enough? Was it fulfilling? And then, yes. Or if it wasn't, have a snack.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a big meal, then maybe you're just bored, or maybe hold off for 10.
Drink some water.
Yeah, drink some water, hold off for 10, 15 minutes. And if you're still hungry,
mm-hmm.
then go have that snack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, oh shoot, you said something. I was like, it's cravings, like a specific craving. Sometimes those specific cravings are your body telling you what you need.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're craving something salty. Well, then maybe your body does need some salt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need some electrolytes. Yeah. And so it would be, let's say you're craving pickled beets. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then you're probably craving something, a nutrient that are mineral and for a reason. Mm-hmm. So like some of those things, sometimes it's good to give into that because your body's trying to tell you what you need. And that would be a case of listen to your body. Mm-hmm. Now, more than likely, your body does not need cheese puffs. Okay, so that is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about, maybe, I don't know, I really want some Brazil nuts. Okay, then more than likely, it's something in there, some nutrient, mineral, vitamin that your body actually needs.
Yeah.
It's probably okay to give into it in moderation. I wanted to talk about moderation for this one. So my mom, my grandmother, both my grandmothers, I witnessed what I grew up watching them do was they moderated. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Very well the taking things in moderation. And I told you the story, and I'll share it with you listeners, is my grandmother, Coca-Cola, right? So this is late 70s, early 80s, through the 80s. My grandmother would have a bottle of Coke in the glass bottle. So we're talking probably 8-ounce glass bottle. And it would take her probably 2 days to drink that Coca-Cola. So she would put a straw in it and it would live in the refrigerator. And so she would have a sip and put it back. And like you're like, well, didn't it go flat? Yeah, probably. But that's how she allowed herself to have it as a treat, I guess. But she strung it out for so long that, she was always tiny, right? So anyway, there's some tricks and truth to that. Like, it's okay to, go ahead and have your cheese puff or whatever. But again, moderation, and not all the time. Because again, I'm a big, what are the ingredients? So, Can you figure out how to make it yourself?
Yeah.
But the other thing that is a helpful strategy and this comes from my friend Anna, so I'm going to give her credit, Anna Carter. So she's a trainer and she's also a professor and with exercise science and all. Anyway, so one of her strategies around the whole food nutrition piece was meal plan, meal prep, but meal prep your snacks or snacks. So I guess in this case it would be snack prep. So she recommended getting one of those covered plates that has 3 compartments. So like, let's say you are fixing meals for people, it'd be something like that, but it had 3 compartments and it has a lid to it. And so for listeners, I'm making my hands, and I don't know what is that? 5-6 inches round, something like that. And, but that's going to look different for somebody who's 6'2", their snacks, they're going to have more snacks than me. So anyway, again, it's proportionate to your weight, height, size, all that, maybe the size you want to be. So, she would recommend so ahead of time for the day, you snack prep.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you want to have some almonds, so you count out your almonds, put those in there. Maybe you do want to have a little cheese, put how much you've measured it out, how much you can have, maybe a fruit, blueberries, maybe some carrots, to help you get your fruits and veggies in, maybe a little peanut butter or hummus, whatever. And so you got a little bit of, but it's all planned out. And so then anytime throughout the day, when you do feel, oh, I'm a little hungry,
Mm-hmm.
you go to your snack plate and you pull from that every time. And then hope that would definitely be your portion control and be your strategy. But it's going to take a little planning, a little prep work. So if you work outside the home, or even if you work from home, that would be every morning as you're making your coffee or whatever, you make your plate up, your snack plate. And so I think that's an excellent strategy to help with that. And, because a lot of times I'll just throw an apple in my bag. I'm okay with that. Like, I've tracked things for so long, but every now and then I need to do a reset. And it's like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that strategy for a little while. And what that does is it helps you train your brain and your body. Like, this is my serving of nuts for the day. This is about this. Because I'm tell you what, 1/4 of a cup of nuts, it ain't much. When you actually measure it out, it is not much. And then that's when you realize, oh, snap, I've been having 3 servings of nuts, cashews, and they are really high in fat. Anyway, you realize when you do measure things out and track, oh, I thought, I was just having a few nuts. Oh, no, you were eating a lot. Yeah. So, it can help you realize some things but you measure it out. You do that for a while. You train your mind and your body. This is about the correct amount. This is about the correct amount. Now, do you have to be perfect at it? Do you have to measure and weigh everything? No. But if you're like new to it, you're going to do that consistency is the key word, not perfectly, for about 2 weeks. And that'll usually train your mind and brain to what the right amounts are for you. And the right amounts for me and you are going to be different than your dad and your brother, because they're bigger. They're still petite, on the petite side, but yeah. Or somebody who's 6 foot tall. It's the portions and sizes and all that are going to be different. So yeah. What else?
I guess we've already talked about some of the ways you can apply this, or I guess not ways you can apply, but tips and tricks, helpful hints on how to apply. At the beginning of the episode, you already mentioned reading the ingredient lists. Shorter lists usually mean cleaner, less junk,
processed,
less processed. So again, you don't have to do this with all the stuff that's in your pantry right now.
But as you buy new stuff,
the next time you're at the grocery store, look at the ingredient list on 3 different types of granola bars and see, like,
if you can find out.
Yeah, because the shorter the list, probably the better. We want to try to avoid the syrups and the oils and the natural flavors.
Why natural flavors?
Yeah. Oh, what you're at? Why? Usually, you told me this.
Okay.
But usually, and I'm doing air quotes when I say this for the people who are listening, the natural flavors does not mean organic or from the earth, you could say. Natural flavors mean that they could have been created in the food lab, or could be from an animal, like a lot of
raspberry flavor.
Like raspberry flavoring is I mean,
It's from the gland of the beaver, as my niece would say, the beaver's butt. So that is not the medical correct terminology, but essentially there's a gland in the beaver's behind. And that's where so they squeeze that out, and so I guess it is natural.
But it's not from, if we're talking about raspberries.
It's not from a raspberry.
So natural flavors, if you're eating something that's apple flavored and it says naturally flavored, that doesn't mean it came from an apple.
Another good one, or not good one, but another item frequently used in making natural flavors is pork.
Yes, gummy bear, anything gummy, fruit snacks, gummy worms, gummy bears, but a lot of that, the gelatin.
Yes, gelatin. Well, that's usually cows, bovine, but then also casings, pork, flavorings, pork, or it's they've sourced it from pork. Yeah. How do we know that? Well, actually, because your grandmother has alpha-gal, and the doctor told us, be careful with natural flavorings. Yeah. A lot of it comes from pork.
Yeah. So there's also cultures that don't eat pork. Right. And so I had a friend in college, and we were at like the gas station looking for snacks, and she wanted something gummy, and she's like, I can't have any.
There's hardly anything.
Yeah, there's hardly anything she could have because she wasn't.
She needs to be kosher. Yeah. So yeah, it's well, you picked up a wrapper.
I picked up it was like a raspberry fig Newton. It was in somebody's yard on our walk yesterday, and so I was just reading the ingredient list, and it wasn't bad, but there was the natural flavors,
citric acid, which again doesn't necessarily mean they took a lemon and squeezed it. A lot of citric acid on ingredient labels is created in a lab.
There's probably a powder.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And that was really the only two that were cause for concern. But just the less processed, the better, because the seed oils, the high fructose corn syrup, the added sugars, those tend to be problematic, especially when everything you put in your mouth has that in it. If it comes from out of a box or a wrapper, more than likely it's been processed. And that's why I'm actually really pleased with those protein puffs. It is in a wrapper, but and so it's a bit more crumbly than some other similar products, but I'm okay with that because it means that it doesn't have all that junk processed. And the more processed something is, the less real nutrition it has in it. And so if you're going to fill your belly and you want to feel full and you want to not constantly be hungry, then the best way to do that is whole foods, not the store.
Yeah.
And maybe you experiment with making some of those things yourself. You want a granola bar? Can you experiment in your kitchen? And so I experimented with sourdough granola bars not too long ago, and they were pretty good. So I'd like to experiment with that a little bit more and try to figure this out. And then can I make it protein? Anyway, just all these things take some time.
Yeah. And then on to our next trick. You mentioned it before, but portioning, which is
like a bowl.
Not a cereal bowl, but like a small bowl.
Like so the ones you still have from your toddlerhood.
So the next time you go for those chips or some trail mix or something like that, get a small bowl, pour whatever you're snacking on in the bowl, close the bag, put it back, sit down at the table and eat the snack.
Right.
So that's the...
Oh, you mentioned trail mix. Yeah. That's an easy one to all of a sudden you've had half the bag.
Yeah.
Right. And you went way over the serving size. Yeah.
So that's a visual connection instead of a disconnection. Is
Mhm.
you're seeing how much you put in there, and then you're eating it, and you're done.
Mhm.
So you're not just standing in the pantry putting food in your mouth.
Mhm.
And then another thing we already mentioned is pairing your snacks,
Mhm.
your apples and peanut butter, banana peanut butter, crackers and cheese.
Mhm.
So if it
Make your charcuterie
you're
right.
a charcuterie board of sorts, but pairing two things together could
Yeah, because also a lot of times, having like a cracker and cheese or a cracker and a piece of
meat,
can
salami,
right, that helps it give it staying power, and so you're not as hungry as fast.
Yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to say, which it applies to all snacking, but so you finished your bowl, you finished your snack, you didn't gorge yourself on the whole can of Pringles
or a bag of
trail mix, but you finished your snack and you're thinking, and your bowl is empty, and you're thinking, I think I want more. Well, let's wait 10 minutes.
Drink some
water. Wait 10 minutes. Don't immediately go back to the pantry and pour yourself another bowl. Give it time to settle, and then after 10 minutes, say,
am I still
hungry, or do I want more just because it tastes good? So,
yeah. So I think we have given or shared quite a few helpful tips, tricks, hints, techniques, or strategies to help people with healthy snacking.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Did we miss any?
I don't think so. I mean, that's all the thoughts I had. And this isn't we don't want you to think, I just need to stop snacking altogether.
No, absolutely not. Because again, some people do better with having something every 2 hours.
Yeah.
I do really well with that. But planning it out, portioning it out, planning it out ahead of time is what really helps me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm scrambling, I haven't planned, I haven't put a plate together or haven't made a plan, and I really don't have anything. That's when I reach for the things that end up being convenient. And those things are usually not what I want to put into my body and are not as fueling. And so if I have an apple in my bag and one of those protein pucks, then for me, because I'm not usually away from home for very long, so that usually takes care of it. But and also when I'm grocery shopping, adding those things to my list, going to the farmer's market, making sure I'm getting those things, and having the veggies and the fruits in the fridge, so that I'm more likely to slice up that cucumber or slice up that apple and eat that instead of going to the pantry and getting the processed stuff. So even just a little bit of planning can help a lot. And I did want to say, it's summertime right now. And summertime I do think summer makes it a bit easier to get those fresh fruits and veggies. The farmers markets are flowing with fresh produce. So if you're not growing it yourself, it's usually easy to get. Ask neighbors, ask friends, where to get those blueberries. And so they're, and they're a bit easier to source. And so eating seasonally is a thing. So eat what's in season. That's usually going to mean that it's fresh, and not just fresh, but also, so it has more flavor, but also it has the most nutrients in it. And that, fill up on your fruits and veggies while they're coming in and being harvested right now. And your winter veggies are going to look different. They're going to go more root vegetables. And so it's okay to eat seasonally and to not always have avocados. I haven't had avocados in the house in quite a while but I'm here lately. I've been craving them. So I'm like, that's not a bad craving. So I'm going to go for it and make my avocado toast on my sourdough bread. Yeah. So I'm like, that's okay. But again, I'm not eating the whole avocado. I'm eating a fourth to a half of it. Anyway. So, yeah. And the So portion control, bowls, planning ahead, the snack tray, plate, prepare ahead of time. Yeah. Those are all good strategies and techniques. Whatever word you like. So yeah, those again just hopefully will help you make better choices with snacking.
Yeah.
Snacky snack.
You can find us on Instagram at truthwithruth.pod. We publish the podcast to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and you can watch on YouTube. Make sure to leave a like, leave a follow, a 5-star review, a comment, share with your friends.
Save it.
Save it, share it. Yeah. And Ruth is on Patreon at Reignite Health and Fitness. You can buy a workout video. We share some, sometimes we share like things we've mentioned in the podcast.
There's some free resources there. Yep. So give that a visit. I'm getting ready to film some more workouts to add to that upon special request. So got some clients who are looking for some at-home workouts, but they're not quite ready for what I already have on Patreon, this little more intense strength training. So I'm getting ready to film some more, so you can look. By the time this airs, they'll probably be up or going up. So those will be still strength training based, but pulled back a little bit because these particular clients are hypermobile and or have some autoimmune issues. So it'll be in a little bit of a separate category, strength training, but just a little bit more on the gentler side. And so I'll need to come up with a name for it, but maybe it's, I don't know yet, but just little bit more on the, I don't want to say easy. It's still not easy, but like gentler, just a little little, anyway. Does that make sense? Okay. So check me out on my Patreon, and that'll help us keep the lights on. So thank you for Evan for doing a lot of this research, and this is something we've been talking about, and we have some observations and some real life inspiration, and so it not only helps us, but it also hopefully helps you. So yeah. So until next time, make what do I want to say? Healthy snacky snacks to help you fight for your health.